Hey guys, Nacho here, and I just wanted to share what I've been doing this season in Last Epoch. I've been having a ton of fun with my Void Smiter, and I am super tanky. So I figured I'd share the build, and this is less of a build guide, just like what I'm doing this season. So don't take it too seriously. Uh, but yeah, I have a three LP Omnividence. We hit the slam perfectly with this. Basically, I really wasn't willing to farm a triple T7 for this thing. The amount of time to do it, I could literally farm another one or three of these three LPs before I find a triple T7 with these three affixes specifically, and a double T7 with only two of these affixes. I have to hit the slam anyways, and so I just went and slammed it. Like the amount of grind between that and an upgrade is just insane. So we that's what we did there. Then we're running double red rings. Red ring is actually pretty easy to get the requirements for. We're like way over, and I'm not even running like T7 vitality or anything up here. I have some more room in idols. We did go with double T7 on the gloves. I got super lucky here, but these are extremely easy to farm in 2 LP, even 3 LP. So I wouldn't be too intimidated by these. And the crit chance here was actually extremely relevant. I would actually rather go with T7 crit and T5 cast speed here. You only lose 15% cast speed. And if you look at our cast speed, we're jacked up, dude. We're way jacked up. And I'm actually running Devotion Amulet. I feel like Devotion's better than Nihilus. Nihilus might be a little better for mapping, but it's okay at best. I don't think it's the end all be all here. Like I said, I much prefer Devotion here. The extra 50% cast speed alone from Devotion is just money. And since we're running Abyssal Echoes, we really don't have an issue with dumping mana for it whatsoever. Then we're also running Brewmaster's Buckle. This belt is just pretty insane, honestly. I got pretty lazy with my slam, so I have another like 400 HP I can get just from getting a really high roll T7 and health on it. So it's like, geez. So I got to get that. I have a few 2 LPs waiting around. I'm actually trying to find a 3 LP of this because I want cooldown reduction, which belt and boot are the only places to get cooldown reduction. And I went vitality movement speed on the boot. I would honestly be okay dropping the movement speed entirely here if I could get cooldown reduction. Like T7 or T6 cooldown reduction would just be money again. And then anchor, I don't think this is required whatsoever, even a little bit. I think just a really good exalt is just better, especially if you had a dread banner. Like just having the implicit void damage is basically the same thing as having an anchor, and endurance kind of sucks anyways. Um, Thankfully these boots just kind of counteract the slow part of this. You can't get slowed, right? You're immune to slow and chill, so that's kind of cool. And then idol wise, we want this idol right here. We want 5 vitality instead of the 3 vitality from the normal, and then we want the spell damage and increased spell damage. Or we want, I actually don't have any because I haven't found any good ones. We want a the small Weaver idols, geez, that have Void Pen and then increased crit chance. Wherever the heck they are. These ones here, yeah. So void damage is pretty cool. It's kind of a copium stat, but we need 3% void damage and then increased crit chance, and that finishes off our crit rate. I think we're like 50%, 75% short on crit rate right now. So that would cover my little slots here, and that'd be fine. That would also cover, I think it also gives us a reduced damage from critical strikes. So I would be able to finish off that 100% here instead of forcing to take these nodes here. So that would open up 2 more points here, which would be pretty cool. Uh, and then yeah, so here's the passive tree that I'm running with. Um, we're just going from vitality, less damage taken. This is like super important if you want mapping to feel good. You have to have cooldown recovery in this build. Like as many places as you can possibly find it, cooldown recovery is your best friend. It ramps your devouring orb and it ramps your shield rush abilities. This is just for shield rush, obviously, because it's for movement skills. But yeah. This Time and Faith, I've actually considered dropping a couple points here, but you have to have 20 points in this tree anyways. So I don't think it's better, but I have so much cast speed. I have to when I'm using Devotion, I basically just have to numlock both Abyssal Echoes and Anomaly because I'll just get so much mana back. So I've been thinking about dropping a couple of points in this just to make it so I don't have to Abyssal Echoes as often. But Abyssal Echoes does a ton of damage because we're crit capped. All of our spells do a good chunk of damage, so none of our buttons feel bad to press whatsoever. And then Abyssal Echoes is also doing like a lot of shred and stuff for us. Also, does a lot of really good stuff. So then coming into the Void Knight tree, starting off, you have to take 5 points here. This is like mandatory, basically. Void and physical damage taken minus 5%. Like not taking this as the first 5 points is just really not great. The leech nodes, you could take spell damage. It's not really a huge deal. I'm not running healing hands, and anomaly is kind of like my only leech. So I've replaced these nodes a couple times, but right now I'm on them because I have to have points like at this section of the tree to get forward. So it's like you can take spell damage, but I have like 450 spell damage flat. So yeah, it's like taking 5 more, 10 more of this doesn't feel as good as just having more leech. Um, then extra health, crit. This node is absolutely insane. I am super happy that they put this 80% increased crit chance in the tree. It is just money, money, money. I just had to take a couple points. I had to take 1 point here, I think, to move forward. So I at minimum took this, and then like I could take another leech point or something like that. And then we come up here for the smite nodes. You need at least 5 points here. The cast speed is actually pretty good. I had 3 points into here, and it would definitely be something that I'd highly consider shuffling points around and putting 3 points back into this. That this is really good. Void Pen, this is required. Like you can't not take 8 points here. And then cooldown recovery with Vitality, this is again a must have. You have to have all 8 points here. And then obviously singular purpose, more void damage, and then less damage taken. Kind of have to take this one too. The Void Essence, I've played with this down to as little as like 2 or 3 points invested into it, and our cast speed is so high. It's pretty good actually. It works just fine. I haven't had too much of an issue. I don't think Void Well is that good here because we have so much cast speed. Honestly, like you'll chug this in a second, and then you'll dump everything because Abyssal Echoes cost 40 mana, and we only have 200 mana. So like it's okay, but it's not great. And then Smite is free always. So Smite being free is the biggest thing that really enables like you not needing this, and you have to have Smite be free. You cannot play this build if your Smite is not free. Don't do it. It's not fun. I tried it and it was a nightmare. I used a scepter that used -3 mana cost until I got my Omnividence, which was okay. I don't even know if I could suggest it as a leveling build. It was kind of monka, to be honest. So I might transition into this a little later and go with like Rive or Warpath or basically any other leveling skill until you get Omnividence, or there is, oh geez, let me find this. It's a staff. This thing. Yeah, Celestial Doom. You can get Celestial Doom from the Bloodfrost Death timeline, and this is a great 1 LP to slam. Uh, the Doom Pulse isn't really like a lot of damage or anything, but it gives you the minus cost. It gives you some flat damage. It's a 2-handed staff, so now your Shield Rush can actually do some damage, which is kind of important. And then your mana spent, you gain it as maximum mana. So this in combination with Devotion can give you a ton of flat. Like you can get up to 100 flat damage from this alone. So, and then you also get spell damage per 10 max mana from Doom Pulse, right? So it's okay. And then you get crit multi from your mana regen. So it's a pretty good weapon. It's super easy to get in 1 LP as well. So if I was leveling again, I would probably be targeting to get this as quickly as possible if I couldn't get an Omnividence really quickly. In like Merchant's Guild and stuff, Omnividence is piss cheap. Like it's one of the most garbage uniques in the game. So even getting a 3 LP, it's probably not that hard. So moving into the skill trees here, Smite is our main single target damage. Until you are crit capped or near crit capped at like 80% at least, you want to just run Fissure though. Don't run these nodes over here. Just take Fissure. I promise it's fine. It's better. You'll have better AOE clear as well. Even at end game here, like where I'm at, the Fissure clear was way better. Like having this only be a single target when I need to use it, it's like I'm pegging one guy down at a time. So like you really want to play Fissure until you're crit capped, and even then for mapping, Fissure's probably still better. After that, we're just really running Sacrifice, and the Sacrifice costs less node. Yeah. So then you run base crit because 8%'s insane. That's a ton of base crit. And crit multi was the where I put my Nihilist points. I again Nihilist wasn't like super important here, so there's a couple points in the skill trees that are just like whatever. Um, Anomaly, the biggest thing that you'll notice is we're not running Mark of Rot here. And the reason is you actually have to cast Anomaly itself on the target that you want Mark of Rot. Okay, this isn't a time bubble effect. Anomaly leaves behind time bubble, uh, and Anomaly is the one is that sends them back in time to actually trigger this. So this is on a 9-second cooldown, and we have a little bit of CDR, so it's like pretty long. So unless you're willing to invest at least 4 points into this node, I would never take this node. And that's a 6 point investment, and I'm not willing to do that right now. So we need the crit rate here, super important. Time bubble lasting longer, super important. Cooldown recovery, super important as well. This is also required for the build. This doesn't matter at all. And then you have to have at least 1 point here, but I mean, cast speed's pretty good too. And then these leech nodes are actually like really, really, really strong. Um, I've tried dropping these, and these 3 nodes replaced healing hands. Okay, like I don't need healing hands spec'd at all because I took these 3 nodes. All right, between these and the passive leech nodes, it's like GG, good to go. So and Shield Rush is our mobility skill. We needed to move around the map, so we didn't need to invest into movement speed. Like, you still need a certain amount of movement speed to actually be able to dodge some stuff, but Shield Rush does a really, really good job of getting us across the map and even short distances. Like, it's a great mobility skill. The cooldown is pretty short, too, with the amount of cooldown reduction we have, like 2.7 seconds right now. And then once we get Anomaly going, it goes even shorter. So like when you need to Shield Rush, you're either completely annihilating the pack with Shield Rush and Devouring Orb, or you stop to kill the big boy, and then by the time you kill the big boy, you have your Shield Rush and you run away. So it works out really, really nicely. Final Impact, we tried some of that damage. It's not as good as just doing hit damage. Hit damage here is really strong because we're trying to use it to travel. Okay, we don't want to stop at every single mob to have it do good damage. So we're scaling spell damage as well. So we figured we'd just take the beams. It's 2-point wonders over there. And you want all 5 points here, all 4 points here, all 4 points here, and you have to have this. The Nihilist points, you don't have to have these. Like these are okay. These are just kind of where I started dumping my extra points. Because going into like you'll have enough points for all of this super easily, and then like you kind of like, where do I do with the rest of it? Mana cost reduction is good to just dump everything, and then anything after that that you don't want to use into mana reduction, you can just put into this. Because anytime that you're doing a boss or anything like that, Shield Rush can protect you a lot. with this. It moves you very quickly. It moves you through mobs, okay, because it's designed to hit them and move you through them. It's not like buggy at all or anything like that. Like you literally just move right through a boss, no issues. And you take 20% less damage while you are moving. So this is like it's like a mini rebuke, right? It's really good. You're trying to. It doesn't give you immunity like healing hands, but it's really fast, honestly. So I really enjoy this skill. Devouring Orb is our main pack clearing, and it's just the main skill that I wanted to play this patch. It looked really fun and automated. Devouring Orb actually made it look like attractive, you know. Um, the big thing that you want to take here is the duration nodes. Duration and cooldown recovery are the two strongest modifiers for Devouring Orb. Okay, we want more duration. Like the more balls we can get, the more damage we can do. Like each ball hits pretty significantly at this point, so the more we can get, the better it is. Um, and then Void Pen obviously is really good here. More collision damage. You have to take the collision damage. These nodes are actually really, 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 really good. But I would probably drop these nodes for with my extra points. And just take 4 points here instead of no points, and take no points here if I wasn't running Nihilist. More void. This node's okay. It's pretty good. You get 20% more global void damage. The 90 vitality requirement was honestly extremely trivial to hit. I see zero issues with this whatsoever. I'm well over the cap. Like I'm at 120 vitality, and I have strength slammed on my red rings. Like it's super trivial to get this at this point. I only have this as a T7 and T7 here, and then obviously these boots give 5 vitality, woo-hoo-hoo, and then 13 vitality here. But even if I wasn't running those, I would still be above 90 vitality. Okay, I could run any belt in any boot, and I would still be at my vitality requirement because these idols can give you 5 vitality. These idols are insane. Like, and I just have some ones with like random resist on them right now, but I want more spell damage ones. These are the ones that I'm trying to farm right now, and they take forever. This is my best one, I think, so far, and it basically minimum rolled, like literally +2 and then 10% spell damage. So like getting 5 vitality, 4 spell damage, and then like 15% plus increased spell damage is really, really good. Really, 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 really good. And then my lightning and fire resist here, I actually just need to finish a blessing. This one I have it at 17%. So once I get that at 20%, I'll have that all capped up. That won't really be an issue. So the res isn't an issue whatsoever in this build. Um Nihilist is, like I said, it's okay. But you can also just fix with whatever idols you need. Like idols are just insane for resistance right now. Um you have to use these for the elemental ones, so that's like the big thing that you don't want to have to do. So you really have to you don't want to dedicate affixes to resistance either. Like you want all the HP and all the armor and stuff that you get. Like I even put increased armor on my chest just because it's what I had. It's just the affix that was on it, and I couldn't get flat HP onto this. So I'm trying to replace this. I'm actually trying to get a better helmet too. If I get a double T7 helmet, that would be just bonkers awesome, cool. I want uh, strength or vitality on the helmet. Uh, Preferably T7 vitality and then T7 increased health. But we'll see. This one works really well. The the reduced bonus damage taken from critical strikes is really, you have to have a high roll implicit for this. Blind does okay. For, and we're getting into the Abyssal Echoes tree now. So we run blind on Abyssal Echoes for bossing, but that's just for the nether coating bonus. For mapping, it's not really a big deal, and we don't have a great source of blind otherwise. So you have to take crit reduction somewhere for mapping. It's like super toxic to not. Even if you're not running full 100% reduced damage to critical strikes, you need to be running at least 80%. It just reduces your curve by a really, really large margin. So I would definitely be doing that. And then this is our main source of armor shred. Abyssal Echoes does an insane job of armor shredding. Like it's just bonkers. And that's like the main thing that it's doing here, and then it gives us 20% more damage. So that's pretty cool. It has no cooldown, and then we get a little bit of spell damage out of it. It does pretty good damage. It's 98k, and our smite's at 220. Our devouring orbs are at 90, and then once we get some void wells going and stuff like that, we really start ramping up. Um, I think my smite's at like 400 or 500k somewhere in there at this point. So let's run a little bit of content here. So this is a Nemesis. And so like when you're bossing, it's kind of like what you're doing. You're just kind of stutter stepping uh, around them so you can get your devouring orb. You just hold left and right click at the same time though. It's not like super bad and intensive to do. And then I'm numlocking both Anomaly and Abyssal Echoes most of the time as well. But this is kind of why Devotion feels really good, because you need to be when you have Devotion on, you need to be casting a lot of spells, but you want to be casting Abyssal Echoes anyways because it brings us a lot of debuffs. Um, 776. That's kind of nice. Put my belt in here. So yeah, we're like giga tanky. Um, we just have no issues walking through most stuff. We can do 1,000 corruption on this build. It's not really that great though. You have to stop and smite a lot of stuff, and so it's like the clear is just it's not as good as 500 corruption when you can just shield rush and devouring orb rush everything. Um, so I mean you can do 1,000 corruption, but it's not super efficient. Like you're comfortable. That's not a problem. Like you're not dying. You can kill all of the bosses, everything like that. But it's not as good. Like I had my highest timelines are like 780 right now. It's okay. I would much prefer just farming at like 500 though. Like I was saying. Here we'll do a little bit of higher. So yeah, like small stuff dies fine, but you end up being like is that belt? Oh, staff. Of course, now it's all like the smallest of the small stuff. This is where I would start considering actually like what your build can actually farm. Like tombs are way harder than mapping. Um, I like it's almost not even close to the same thing. Okay, triple T7. Um, the difficulty within these tombs at 1,000 corruption is probably closer to like what we had at 2,000 corruption last patch. Between the amount of big boys that you get and the amount of health that they have, like if you're not a giga damage build, you have to fight these mobs for a really long time. It really doesn't matter what you do. You're gonna be doing a lot. This is where Shield Rush feels really good though, is these tombs as well. But this is kind of where 800 corruption starts slowing down for the build a little bit, is in areas like this. Like I said, we do it fine. Like we're plenty tanky. We have the damage to kill them, but they will die eventually, no matter what. Is the other thing. So it's like, at what point is it too many enemies too fast and like you can't keep up with stuff? I don't think that's the issue right now. I mean, like we're melting the boss too. It's really not an issue. Uh, but I just feel more comfortable at 500. Like I can just go, 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 go. There's no pausing to any enemies. They just melt. So I've just been hard farming 500. This is actually with them having plus 25 resistance as well. So it's like I said, the build can do 1,000 corruption. I just think it feels better at 500. Uh, but 500 is a really good sweet spot. Honestly, I think a lot of people undervalue how good farming at 500 can actually be because of how fast you can just go. Like most builds are just melting everything at 500. Like you like I wouldn't even have to smite this stuff. I would just freaking walk by them with a devouring orb like that and they're dead. So like and you don't get that much more XP or anything like that. So for COF, just farming faster is still better. Maybe with MG and stuff like that, you really want to take advantage of all your LP gains or like affixes and stuff like that. But like I'm leveraging prophecies pretty heavily, so it's like whatever. Um, I guess we can show normal Aberoth, wherever the heck that is. So we do normal Aberoth just fine. It's really nothing. I don't think any builds should have a problem with Aberoth at this point though. So that's the other part. Like she's just a big hitting dummy. Or he, whatever. So yeah, normal Aberoth not really a problem. We can just stand anything we want, and you just can't kill us. It's kind of a joke at this point. I feel like normal Aberoth should be harder. Um, I don't like what they did with it, but here we are, anyways. 2 LP, and then so yeah, that's kind of the build, and yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the showcase a little bit, and see you out there.